Well, hello, good morning. It is, what, 6, 7:11 in the morning. It is so goddamn cold outside. I have to double up on pajamas. Uh, heat's, cranked, but it's still, so fucking cold. This is my first book haul of 2024. I got a stack here. I have to figure out where I'm going to put my book haul books because I'm not going to, rebuild the book wall every single time I do a book haul because that's a lot of time spent rebuilding the book wall, so I gotta figure that out. I do yet have some space on my last bookshelf. No, I don't think so. I'll figure it out. But yeah, a lot of these are from passes. A good chunk of them, 9 of them. I had $125 worth of Barnes and Noble gift cards, and then Barnes and Noble had a sale, so that's what's all good amount of more. So let's talk about that. First up, I have The History of Greece, from the earliest period to the close of the generation, volume 2 of 12 by George Grote. This is like a classic, just series of books, 12 volumes about Greece. And I own most of them in hardcover from a library book sale, but I don't own all of them. And so I picked up volume 2. This is one of the ones that I don't own. I think there are like maybe 1 or 2 more that I don't own. But this was really just filling in the gaps. Eventually, I'll read all these books and I'll know what they knew about Greece in 1884. So there's that. Yeah, it's definitely not as pretty as my hardcovers aren't really, I don't know if you call them pretty. They're just like these tiny little soft red hardcovers, but yeah, I've got this. After that, I have Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. This is a book that I'm actually giving another shot to because I did read this when I was in high school and I wasn't very impressed with it. But recently I read another book by Brandon Sanderson that I read when I was in high school and wasn't very impressed with, which was The Way of Kings, and I really liked it this time. So I figured I would give Warbreaker another shot, so I picked it up. This gorgeous hardcover here. I previously had it in, oh god, I messed up on the date. I write the dates when I get these books. Oh, I got these books in 2024. I gotta fix that. So I write when I receive them, when I start them, when I finish them. So now I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have to check every single goddamn one now, aren't I? There we go. But I figured I'd give it another shot, and I do want to give all of Brandon Sanderson's stuff another shot because maybe now that I'm a little bit older, I can appreciate him a little bit more. All right, next up, I have another filling out a series thing. I have Shopaholic Takes Manhattan by Sophie Kinsella. I have a good number of these books, various random parts of the series, and so I'm just filling out the holes. I have a whole spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet for a lot of things. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Shopaholic Takes Manhattan. I haven't read any of the Shopaholic books, but I have read other Sophie Kinsella books, and they're fun. They're fun. So we'll see. After this, I have, god damn it, another one that is actually, this is not filling out a series. This is, I'm going to have to fill out the series because I have, and I own and I've read books 1 and 2. And then this is, I believe it's book 4. I don't think this is a series where it's like super important that you read them in order, but I would like to read them in order because that's how I started reading them. I'm just getting the Target sticker off. This was a gift card, a Target gift card that I got for Christmas. There we go, perfect. And that is Radiant Sin by Katie Robert. So I've been delving more into romance recently, because it's not a genre that I have traditionally been very into. And so I read the first 2 volumes of this series, and the first one was fine, and I really liked the second one, so I'm continuing on. This is, I believe, Cassandra and Apollo, but these are all, erotica novels based on various Greek myths. The first one is Persephone and Hades, the second one is Eros and Psyche. The third one, which I'm kind of excited about, is Achilles and Patroclus, and also Helen of Troy. So that should be interesting. But yeah, I've got this. And again, I'm going to have to pick up book 3 before I read it. But, there's that. All right, speaking of, goddamn, haven't put the right year in, romance. Another one I got is Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed. And if you can tell by the two muscular men on the front, this is a male-male romance. This is a male-male hockey romance. This is book 2 in a series. However, I don't think I'm going to read the series in order. I've been trying really hard to read series in order, but I feel like sometimes it does not fucking matter, especially when it comes to romances. So I am not going to bother with going and making sure I have book 1. This is a surprisingly floppy mass market paperback. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, this is, we're trying this out. We're trying this out. Like all fucking romances, this is huge. Why is this so big? Why are romance all so big? I did get this. But yeah, no, this is a pro hockey star, sexy rival he loves to hate, all sorts of stuff. All right, next. Eventually, I'm going to run into one that I did not say that I got in January of 2024. One day. Okay, Perfect by Sarah Shepard. This is a Pretty Little Liars book. This is, again, me filling out a series that I don't have all the books in. This is weirdly looks like, this is from Harper Teen, but this looks like it's self-published. Like, look at how this is made. This is like my books are self-published. This is what they look like. I don't know. I read the first book. I also read like the 7th book, but I'm trying to go back and like read the ones in order. You know how it is. You know how it is. But yeah, I believe this is book 3 or 4. Book 3, yes, perfect. So I got this. I also have the first season of the TV show on DVD now, which is great. I did cancel all of my subscription services except for Amazon Prime because I have that for more than just streaming. I did cancel all my streaming services at the beginning of the year. And because I've got so much goddamn physical media, which is what I prefer anyway. And so I'm trying to get through that. So I canceled like Netflix and Crunchyroll. Anyway, oh, thank God. Finally. I got this in 2024. Library Wars, Volume 3, Love and War. I love this series. This is a manga series that I very much enjoy. It is about like a future that's very like, where we've got book banners and stuff like that, except for in response to that, instead of book banners is like deeply like illegal. The librarians are now like a military operation to protect the books, and it's fucking great. But yeah, this is Volume 3. I love the series so much. And there's also an anime, which I didn't watch before I canceled Crunchyroll, so I think I have that on my list of stuff to buy on DVD. But yeah, I got this. Super fun. And then we got my Barnes & Noble haul, which I believe I wrote 2024 and all the fronts. I hope so. Anyway, first up, I've got Charming Young Man by Elliot Schraber, which is about a young painter in Paris in the 1800s. And recently I was thinking, like, why are there so many male-male romances set in like historical fiction? What is it with the 1800s? And then I was thinking, like, whoa, what is this? I'm like, oh, Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. That's what it was. It got so goddamn popular, so goddamn fast, and everybody's like, yeah. But yeah, this is one that I hadn't heard of. I was just looking because of the sale. It wasn't the one right after Christmas, because that one was bad. This was and also only in store. This one was like last weekend, and it was 50% off select hardcovers, and I could find enough. So yeah, I hadn't heard of this one, but it looked interesting, so I decided to try it out. This is one that I had heard of, and that is Time Out by Sean Hayes, Todd Milner, and Carlin Greenwald. This was actually on my Amazon wish list. And one thing that concerns me a bit is that you look at that man right there and you tell me he doesn't look like Richie Tozier from 2017 It, and now I'm worried that this is a Ready fanfic. So there's that. But I believe this is about 2 high school boys, and one of them is a star on the basketball team, and he comes out and it has some backlash that I wasn't expecting. It's very short. Yeah, there's this. All right, then I got the Chloe Gong novellas. They're not in their box. I put their box up on top of my Ozzy Osbourne thing on my bookshelf. Bookshelf tour was probably posted before this. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. It's probably 7 years from now. But there are 2 novellas. I thought they were going to come in one, but they didn't. They came separately. So we've got This Foul Murder, which is about Benedict and Marshall. We've got art on the front, and it's very pretty. And then the other one is about Juliet and Roma. And we got this art on the front, and it is a foul thing. So we've got these, and since they're in separate little books, that means I can count them as 2 when I read them. That's awesome. Not count them as 1 book. Then I got Some Shall Break by Ellie Marney. This is the sequel to None Shall Sleep, which I've read a couple times. Most recently I read to do a novel study with one of my students when I was teaching high school. But None Shall Sleep was basically like a young adultified Silence of the Lambs. That's what it was. And so this is a sequel, which I've been vaguely interested in for a while. So we'll see if it's any good. Then we've got the new Warrior Cat book. I think this is the newest one. When did you come out? It came out in 2023, so it's got to be the newest of this series, I think. But that is Shadow by Aaron Hunter. This is the third book in the Starless Clan. I haven't even read the first book in the Starless Clan yet. I did finish up the Broken Code, but I just never started the Starless Clan yet. But I do have the first 3 books in it, so I think. I'm pretty sure. I know I have the first one. If I don't have the second one, then who knows what will happen. But yeah, got this. Maybe what I'll do with these is I'll put them on, I'll like arrange them on top of the book wall. You know, maybe we'll do that. I'll start from the top and we could try that. We'll do that. Maybe. Anyway, next I have some questions for you by Rebecca Mackay. And I posted these on Instagram and somebody just recommended her other books. So I have to check out some of her other books. But this got some buzz last year and then people read it and then they were like, this sucks. But this is like true crime inspired because there's a huge, true crime resurgence and love right now. And as somebody who does, enjoy true crime, I understand the people who are like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Also somebody who has been into media that makes people say what the fuck is wrong with you for my entire life. I think that people who get offended by people saying what the fuck is wrong with you do need to grow thicker skin, because when you're engaging with media like this that makes people say what the fuck is wrong with you, you just gotta learn that it's not everybody's cup of tea and people are gonna think you're kind of weird. Like it's just people deal with that with like when you just watch horror movies casually and when you're reading horror novels and stuff like that. Like it's true crime is real and it's horrifying and all that sort of stuff, but you just got to learn to deal with how people react to you. Anyway, soapbox over. I got this. Then speaking of horror novels, I did grab The Trees Grew Because I Bled There by Eric LaRocca, which is a bunch of short stories. I read You've Lost a Lot of Blood and it was okay. It wasn't that bad. Mostly You've Lost a Lot of Blood. If I had read it before I read Exquisite Corpse, I probably would have loved it. But I read it after I read Exquisite Corpse. And so I spent the whole time just wishing it was Exquisite Corpse instead, which is like terrible. Like every time that I read a book that is about anything that Exquisite Corpse is about. So if it's about cannibalism, if it has beautiful writing, if it is about like a very disastrous relationship between two men, or even 2 people, I'm gonna wish it was Exquisite Corpse. So Exquisite Corpse was my 2nd or 3rd favorite book last year. It was in the top 3. But yeah. Hopefully this doesn't remind me too much of Exquisite Corpse. And then I've got I'm the Girl by Courtney Summers. This woman, I keep buying her fucking books and I'm never, like, the only one I've read is All the Rage. I own The Project, I own Sadie. I haven't read either of them yet. So maybe one day I'll read this one, but her books always sound so interesting, like that always sounds so fucking cool. And so like I buy them and then they sit in the book wall. I don't even know what this is about. But I do get her newsletter and I like the cover. And after that, the final book, I have The Magic of Oz by L. Frank Baum, which is one of the books in the Wizard of Oz series, which I had a couple of when I was a kid. So I've been kind of trying to get them and, read them. This is like book fucking 10 or something like that. But yeah, so yeah, these are the books. Can I pick them all up? Let's see. Can I pick them all up? Oh, it's heavy. Oh my God. Here we go. These are the books I received so far in 2024. Really, it's the 13th, so this is not looking good for the book wall shrinkage. But I think I'm up 3 from the beginning of the year. I have a whole spreadsheet. I've got a spreadsheet for fucking everything. But yeah, that's that. I'll talk to you later, and goodbye.